Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Devin, and on this channel we talk about all things plants. Today's video is episode number 2 of a series that I have called Making My Space Alive, where I take spaces and transform them with DIY styling and of course, plants. My sister and her husband graciously let me make over their master bedroom. So she is a beginner plant mom. She's also renting her space, and she also has pets. Today's episode, I show you how I make it pet friendly, renter friendly on a few things. Our mom is actually the landlord, so we have a little bit of leeway on things, but also show you what plants are great for beginners. But before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you get notified every time that I upload a video. I am trying to upload every Sunday. You know, have some great ideas for 2021. I have a few more spaces that I would like to make over, so you don't want to miss those episodes. So before we get making over, let's go ahead and look at what her space looks like before. In her space right now, she has a lot of gray furniture, silver accents, and blush accents with black antique furniture. She really wanted to keep her antique furniture but translate her room into a modern farmhouse feel. One of the quickest ways to transform a room is simply by painting. So we took 3 walls and painted them Chantilly lace by Benjamin Moore, and it really brightened up the space. Now that the room had a nice fresh white paint, it was time for them to go and me to start making over the room. When I was choosing plants for this space, I had to take into account of how much light it gets, how much maintenance that she wanted to keep up with, and as if you could recall, she does have cats and dogs. So I wanted to make sure that the plants that were closer to the ground were pet friendly, and if they weren't, have options to elevate them off the ground. For a larger pet friendly plant, I decided to go with the cast iron plant because it is pet friendly and it's very, very low maintenance, and it tolerates a more shady environment as well. So I thought this was a perfect option for beginner plants and if you have pets, because you really can't, you know, mess this plant up. It's a very hardy plant. It likes to just be left alone, and it would prefer to be a little bit in a darker spot. In her room now, she has a lot of grays and silver tones mixed with black antique pieces. She loves her antique pieces, so she wanted to incorporate those, which is great because it goes really well with the modern farmhouse, kind of blending it in. They are planning on moving within the next year, so she didn't want to spend a lot of money on just a rental. So I found ways to update a few items, and I also went thrift store shopping for a few items and places like Facebook Marketplace, and even shopping around in my own home to find pieces for her room that I can incorporate. To start this off, I was decluttering her room, moving the stuff out, and moving the big furniture pieces away from that back wall so I can get it ready to be painted. You make me nervous. So now I'm just quickly going through and filling all the little holes that she had on her wall with joint compound, letting it dry, and you can actually just wipe off the wall to get rid of the extra residue. Me too. We can take it slow, make sure we do this right. Canceled all my plans to be. Now that all the other 3 walls have been painted white, I am going to be taping off and painting the top third of this wall a bare color called Camouflage Jungle, which is, I would say, like a gray green. I wanted it to be pretty muted green, but have a nice subtle earthy feel to it. But I think we were meant to be. Anxious. I think I might be stuck on you. I love the things you did for me, it seems like this video if you're like me and love watching sped up painting. It's so satisfying, and I can only wish that it actually went that fast in real life. Dropping everything 'cause you're stuck on my mind. So just sit with me.
until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be.
So right now I'm just going in and cutting on the edges and around the outlets with this white paint color. I'm just doing that to go ahead and make sure the edges are covered, just in case the board and batten doesn't fully cover it, because once we do put the board and batten on the wall, we're gonna do a whole covering of all white.
Just sit with me, talking through the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think.
Okay, to start off this board and batten, I took a 1x4 piece of wood and I'm going to be spanning it all the way across the top. I'm going to be making sure it's level all the way across, and I'm going to be adding liquid nail to the back of it and securing it with my nail gun using brad nails. And if you don't have a nail gun, you can just hammer in with brad nails as well. So I'm trying to get this board as level as possible, and it is very hard, you guys. This is the first time I've done this, and I'm doing it by myself, so I would highly recommend, if this is your first time, trying to have a buddy with you to help you kind of stabilize things, because I did put a brad nail in, but as you see, it slips and liquid nail got everywhere, which I had to later remove. So tip from me, try to find a buddy if this is your first time with a large wall.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me.
Okay, now I'm getting ready to do the vertical pieces. So I'm measuring out each time I do the vertical piece, because this is an older condo and the walls can be a little bit wavy, so I wanted to make sure that they matched up correctly every single time. And for my vertical pieces, I just took a 1x2 and span them across each time, and I kind of measured before, but I know the standard distance between each one is either 12 or 24, but it also can depend on the length of the wall or how you want it to look. And this is where I say having a buddy comes in handy. For the first time you're doing this, I did have to call reinforcements and help me out, because the wavy wall was kind of throwing me off and it wasn't a complete straight line, and just with two people it was easy for one of us to measure, one of us to cut, and we could put this up within a matter of 20 to 30 minutes. So as you can see, I've been cleaning up the mess from the liquid nails by trying to scrape it off the wall from the initial board that I put on that slipped. Just being honest, you know, first time doing it, things will happen. Don't get discouraged if things don't go as smoothly as you think. It's definitely easier as it goes on. Even if you're new to DIYing or you're a seasoned beginner, there will be things that come up that you didn't expect, which is totally normal. It happens to everybody. The final step beyond painting, I forgot to mention, is that we caulk the edges to fill in the gaps so it would be seamless against the wall. Okay, now I'm hanging the curtains, and I should have just measured from the top down instead of measuring from the floor. It's a much shorter distance, taking a lesson from me again. But I am spanning a curtain rod all the way across these windows, and I'm using the curtains more as a grounding decor piece rather than an actual functional piece. A good trick to make your room feel taller than it is to actually hang your curtains as far up as you can, just to make the illusion that your ceilings are a lot taller. So that's what I'm doing here. So this is a mirror that I actually thrifted for like $13, which is a steal, and it's very on trend for right now. And I actually just spray painted it black and then distressed the edges to give it a little antique look to match the rest of some of the pieces in her room. I had a really good vision in my mind for these knobs that didn't quite pan out the way I wanted them to because of these weird plastic things, but that's okay. I just went ahead and went with it. Sometimes things just don't work out as you imagine them to, but I still think they look really cute. Some of you may recognize this DIY planter I made in a previous video, but I'm just using it as a plant stand for this cast iron plant. So here's another way that you can display your plants if you have cats, as I mentioned before, is actually hang them from the ceiling. And I know this is not necessarily a renter-friendly way. It's pretty easy. You just drill a hole, and I had a little bit of difficulty figuring out these ceiling hooks, but after I got it, you kind of just put tension down on it, twist it, and it screws itself in. And for plants, I decided to go with the golden pothos and a philodendron. As they grow, they're going to vine down and look really pretty hanging from the ceiling. And I thought it was a good thing to have two different plants that require about the same care. I always suggest these two plants for new plant parents because they're easy to take care of and they don't require a lot, and they will definitely let you know when they need watering.
From all my slip-ups and mistakes, and I'm just pointless without you. Why don't we go back to never wanted to end things like we did. I'm sorry for all those promises I made you that I couldn't keep, but it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we go back to honestly, I'm open wide. I don't feel like waking up without you by my side. I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to your Batten?
So it's day 3 of the makeover where I'm doing most of my styling, and I just really wasn't happy with the drapes that I chose. So I'm actually going to be switching them out for white ones that reach further down to the floor because these were just too short. The original curtains that I chose are more of a taupe color, and these were a bright white color that really just brightened up the room a lot better.
Another broken plate, another called off date. We never seem to get it right. Another heart attack, words that we can't take back. We are the reason opposites attract. Once you slam the door on the second floor, I regret it all. When I think it through, I can't help the way I feel for you. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even the worst can sting. I wanna change a thing, 'cause without you everything means nothing. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. By the phone, hoping you'll answer yours. Baby, let's talk until we're fine. You've been in bed for days, empty without me, you say. Can't you just magically turn up in mine? Then you knock on my door on the second floor, and I feel okay. You just made it.
So another pretty easy plant to take care of is this peace lily, and the reason I put it in here is because it's very obvious when it needs to be watering. So it's a very visual plant. It just literally droops down, and it can handle lower light, which this is pretty far back from the window, so I thought this would be a good starter plant as well. I don't know about you guys, but I always end up putting my books in rainbow order. Like this video if you do the same thing. Shout out to my sister who does pottery and actually created these cute little pots, so I really wanted to make sure that they were on display. So my sister had a bunch of family photos around in different little frames, mostly 5x7 and 4x6, and I was kind of stumped in the beginning to figure out how to display them, and I came up with this idea of putting like a mini gallery wall behind her TV. Let me know what you guys think of this as an idea. Before I reveal the final space to you guys, let's take a look at what it looked like before.
Really bad, got a whole lot of problems, but they're always by you. I'm trying my best, but I don't know how to solve them. I don't know what to do. I need some time on my own to figure out what I want. 'Cause baby, right now I don't know. Feels like I'm riding solo. You got me thinking about all of the problems in us. I know it's sad, but we both know. Maybe it's time that I let you go.
So I think this room came out really well. I think it has a feel of a little bit of a modern farmhouse feel that she wanted, and it's still incorporating some of her antique pieces that she really wanted to keep. What do you guys think of this makeover? Do you think it achieves the modern farmhouse feel? Is it something that you want to try on your own? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.